to make Cancun All Inclusive worth it.
Worth it.
Oh, wow. So, hey there, world travelers. I'm Tanya.
I'm Dave.
And we are Turn It Up World. We're a fun travel couple that shares our travel and experiences. And this is live stream number 4 of 2020.
Yes.
Right? And we try and do live streams here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Texas time, y'all.
Exactly. Austin time.
Exactly, Austin time. If you are joining us for our live stream, we're definitely looking forward to interacting with you. And if you have some tasty tidbits about Cancun, all-inclusives, or all-inclusives in general, we look forward to getting into that discussion with you guys for sure and hearing some of your thoughts. And if you're watching this after the live stream, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time we post a cool new live stream video like this one. So we're making this video today because we have some experience with, in particular, Cancun All Inclusive. We recently stayed at the Iberostar Prestige, and it was a lot of fun. And we have a lot to talk with you guys and share with you in regards to that for sure. So, should we just kind of kick this thing,
Yeah.
kick
Kick it right off.
Kick it right into gear.
Yes.
So the first thing, number 1.
Wow, look at that.
Don't rent a car. Okay, right there, wherever it is, right there.
Right.
Don't rent a
there.
car. There's
Right.
plenty of taxi cabs. Once you come out of the Cancun airport, that'll be happy to take your money.
Right, exactly. And should we talk too about kind of planning ahead for the driver, right? Because I know at the Cancun airport, if you're going to rent a car, right? Or if you're not going to rent it, if you're going to actually get a taxi, you should probably book it in advance so you don't get ripped off. I know sometimes coming from the Cancun airport, you can pay 2 to 3 times more expensive.
Absolutely.
If you don't actually book it in advance.
Yeah, or just
right?
be knowledgeable. Like if you know the prices, pull up something, print out something to show. A lot of folks that have paid, off season, I think it's around $35 is what you should pay. Season, that peak season, you might pay $50, you might pay $60. But it certainly, beats having to drive around and figure it out for yourself. And we'll get into later on why you shouldn't have a car. So there's definitely options for you. Like Dave was saying, there's pre-booking places that you can look
Right.
into, like, what was it, USA
Yeah,
Transfers.
USA Transfer we use and
Right.
I've been very happy with.
Very
Yeah.
happy. Now, it's a bit pricey. It can be, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
And they're very reliable. So comfort and convenience, for sure.
Right, exactly. And it may be a bit pricey, but it's definitely cheaper than not planning ahead and booking in advance, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So it definitely is something to think about for sure when you are. And like I said, don't be afraid to think, okay, am I going to find a cab? If I'm going to go with this suggestion, am I going to find a cab? As soon as you walk out, you'll be like hoarded.
Exactly.
Taxi cab
I know.
drivers. So
and if you're coming to an all-inclusive, you don't want to feel hoarded, right? You're kind of probably going there, a lot of people anyway, a lot of families are going there to relax,
oh yeah.
right? And just have things taken care of for them, right? And so that's kind of step one. When you get to the airport, avoid the chaos.
Avoid
Plan
the
ahead.
chaos.
And also, you can also contact your all-inclusive resort, and they can potentially book something for you and arrange it. Now that may be more expensive.
Right, exactly.
Right,
And
so-
it depends. I mean, it could be, it could
Yeah.
very well, depending on the package you chose at the all-inclusive, it could very well be added into it. You just don't know about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's definitely, Dave's right, smart to call ahead, and check and be prepared with that. There's great 3 options right there. The 4th is obviously if you're going to rent a car because you have other plans, then
Exactly.
that's on you. But if you're going to specifically an all-inclusive to really enjoy the benefits of an all-inclusive, to really make it worth it, don't rent a car.
All right.
So, we have someone to enter here. First, want to say hi to Drew. Thank you.
Drew.
What's up, Drew?
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
joining.
much for joining us. I think he likes your shirt.
Yeah, it says either your shirt or my
Caffeinated.
shirt.
Yeah, I
Get
think
caffeinated.
get
I need to get caffeinated.
Get caffeinated.
Either that or
I'm getting
drink the vino.
I'm getting buzzed.
Drink the vino.
Get buzzed. Get
Yeah,
caffeinated.
exactly.
Get buzzed.
Thank you, Drew.
Yes, thank you so much. So the next one, kind of getting right into it, you have to understand that there is a huge lack of kind of that local kind of culture in an all-inclusive.
Right.
You're not really going to get that authentic local culture because there's so much diversity that kind of transplants to these all-inclusives, especially Cancun, which in my opinion is probably like the hub the mecca of all inclusives.
Right. Oh yeah.
So you're not really going to get that local diversity. So don't expect that when you're going there, that local culture. Sorry, you're not going to really get there.
No, exactly. I think having that expectation set so you aren't disappointed, right? If you're used to traveling and staying at small little hotels or Airbnbs and things like that in cities in, say, Mexico, it'll be very different, obviously, going to an all-inclusive. So just obviously recognize that and don't be surprised. You'll have some great amenities and things available to you, but it's not going to be that local culture feel. They'll try to do some of that,
right?
They'll try and infuse it.
They'll try and infuse it just to kind of give you that vibe that you're in Mexico. But I truly felt the moment we got into our all-inclusive, I forgot that I was in Mexico.
Right,
You just don't feel like you're in Mexico. You might have a lot of the staff are from Mexico for sure, but outside of that, it didn't really feel like the vibe of authenticity in Cancun.
No, I agree with you. We had been in Isla Mujeres and Puerto Morelos before that, which were a completely different feel. So if you're looking for that, you can kind of look at places down there, but certainly from an all-inclusive standpoint, don't expect that authentic local feel, and certainly the cuisine as well is quite different.
Yeah, for sure.
Right,
it was fun though. I definitely felt like when we walked, how we got there was kind of cool. So you arrive, they automatically put you into like a golf cart.
Yes.
And the golf cart, they kind of drive you around the various aspects of the all-inclusive and explaining to you kind of what's included. And what was neat and what was included was great. They had a lot of things, movie theaters and things of that nature. They kind of drove you by all the different cabins and different things, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it's a great little setup. So the moment you arrive, you're getting that education factor of what's there on the facilities, versus having to look it up on your phone.
Yeah, because those can be really big too. A lot of different,
humongous.
A lot of facilities, things to do, to check out. So
yeah, especially with the Iberostar, there's two. They have the adults only section, which is the Coral, the Prestige Star, and then there's the family friendly one.
Yeah.
So, but you can actually use both facilities. So of course, adults can use both facilities. But it's just there's so much that you can do there, to really maximize your time. You don't necessarily need to leave the
no, it's true. And you definitely use both sides, right? Because many of the restaurants and activities are over on the family side.
Yes.
Right, and the adult side tends to be quiet, not as much activities going on. You might have some of the kind of those pool exercise activities that they have. Stretching in the pool and things like that.
And swim and spread.
Exactly.
But there's a lot to do, and I think that was kind of the coolest thing, is to be able to, because you're overwhelmed. You get there, it's this massive site and waiting for you, and you don't know where the hell you're going. So it's nice that they have that all planned out.
Yeah,
the
they
moment
pick
you
you up,
pick you
up in the golf cart, drive you, and then
take your luggage. It's
they hand you a nice little drink when you get off.
It all starts the moment you get there.
Start boozing.
Start
boozing.
And we'll get into
right
that
away.
in just a minute. So we have Quality Child Care. Hi,
hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And we always ask this for sure, and even afterwards, if you're watching this after, let us know in the comments where you're from. We really enjoy, finding out where everyone is from for sure. It's a nice little thing to do. And if you haven't already, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, because the thumbs ups goes a long way.
Yes.
It's kind of awesome to do so. It's kind of like a little workout for you. Workout. So something that I really love to do, for sure, because especially when it's all included, and that is raid the minibar. Raid the minibar, because in an all-inclusive, make sure, that's a good point, make sure it's included, but in our all-inclusive, it was included. The snacks, the booze, and the beverages, which is all included.
Which is funny too, I have to admit,
you get nervous.
Not exactly. I'm nervous to raid the minibar because I'm used to getting screwed.
Yes.
The minibar, it's like, don't touch the minibar.
It's like,
it costs a fortune.
As soon as you take out something, you can even put it back. As soon as you take it out, because it's like, they're smart about that. They think, especially those places that aren't included, you take out.
Oh yeah, you're
take out a piece of candy, right?
Like
and you think you can go to like a 7-Eleven and buy the same piece of candy and put it back.
No
It's
way.
like 79 cents. No way. You charge the $5 for a little Snickers bar.
Exactly, but not at the all-inclusive. Not at the Iberostar. So raid that minibar.
Raid the minibar.
Take advantage of it.
Oh gosh.
Take advantage of it. We had beer in ours, right? Kind of went in there.
Oh my gosh.
Good stuff.
So much good stuff. As a matter of fact, what's nice about it is, as soon as it's empty, You come back to your room and it's
refilled.
Woo! All inclusive. Make it worth it.
Yeah, raid that minibar.
It's worth it.
So
Now that is
funny.
one thing that makes all inclusives worth it is raid the goddamn minibar.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. It's so funny.
It's just, and it's nice too because I think he's so right. Like speaking of like.
Oh, Quality Shot asked actually what resort this is.
So this is the Iberostar. This is in Cancun. It was the adults only.
The coral level. Yeah.
Yes. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, brand new. Actually,
brand new.
Was I think opened November 2018.
Yes.
So it's only just over a year old.
Exactly.
Right. So our room felt like it had barely been used. Right, which is great.
It probably wasn't. It was
right.
amazing. Like we had a corner, and what we'll do for you guys as well. We have a couple of videos. We actually did a video one for the price that we paid, which is about $520, and to let you know if it was worth it. So you can decide. Dave at some point is going to put the links inside of the chat so that you guys can certainly check it out. And for those of you that are watching this afterwards, we will go ahead and put links to those Cancun videos if you're interested in checking those out for sure, because we did basically a full-on experience of the Iberostar Prestige Coral level, as well as a little more specific in terms of is it worth paying that kind of a price tag for it. So, and this one in particular is just kind of making it worth it. If you're going to do it, today we're kind of talking about ways and things that can prepare you so that it is worth it and that you can really have a really good time.
Exactly. Actually, Cardoso, hello. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Cardoso.
Yeah, just
welcome.
got back.
Thank you.
Just got back from the TRS Yucatan Hotel.
Wow.
So is that another all-inclusive?
Exactly.
I'm assuming it probably is.
I was just about to ask that. So tell us, is that an all-inclusive? Give us a little bit of deets for the folks that are in the room here, the ones that are going to watch after. I'm sure they're going to want to know about that one because, hey, this is what it's all about, all-inclusive.
Exactly.
And we were just kind of talking about the snacks and the mini bars and, the guilty pleasure of being able to raid the mini bar and not being charged at all because you're already paid for it with your all-inclusive package. So, Virgo, that's your swing.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the room. Even like the room service. You think about the room service. It's all included. Normally that's something you'd stay away from as well. So you have the mini bar, the room service, no extra fee except for the tip, right? Obviously, I think you should think about tipping certainly the staff that comes up.
Yeah, well,
but we can go into that later on. So.
Exactly. So that's definitely a good thing. But we're on that rating that mini bar tip right now because it's important to rate that mini bar. And I love rating the mini bar. Sorry, I keep going back to it because I really took advantage of that mini bar. I ate all those darn snacks. I even put a couple in my suitcase. Just to get a refill of the Sorry, hope they're not watching. So let's talk about something really important that you should definitely take advantage of when you're there. In our opinion, especially, and this is coming from an experience at the Iberostar, is eating at the buffets, because at the Iberostar, they were good. Yeah,
they were very good, definitely. I thought the buffets actually were probably the highlight from the food perspective.
Oh, yeah.
But they have a lot of restaurants there, too, some very good ones. But the buffets are excellent for sure.
Yes, exactly. And there's a little warning, though, I would say, and I kind of noticed this, which has kind of stayed away a little bit from it. When you go to breakfast, sometimes there's the same food items there that are at the breakfast buffet, and then I see some of the same items, like that center table, for the lunch buffet, which was kind of weird for me because it's meat that's been out for a while, and if it's going to be out, it almost looks like it's been there for a little while. So I don't know if I necessarily would take the chance in eating that. I'd want to maybe have something made fresh to order. If you're looking for, especially chickens and things like that. I noticed there were breakfast time, there were certain meats out. And then lunch buffet we got there's meats looked like they were still sitting there from breakfast, like they really hadn't moved them. Yeah. And that's several hours apart. So, there's all kinds of bacteria that can get into that. So for me, it was more, I try to be aware of those things. So for you, maybe be aware of that. And maybe have things made to order, fresh made to order.
Yeah, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, turnover is always a key thing with buffets, right?
Oh,
So if it's not turning over, look for something fresh.
If you eat it, you might turn over.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I've lived that before. You don't want to do that. It's not a good thing.
You don't.
No.
You don't want
Especially down in Mexico.
Yeah, heck yeah. But they're amazing. I mean, they have so much to choose from. You can almost get into like a food coma. I mean, I remember the breakfast in particular. there's the chef right there, ready to make your eggs and omelets or whatever you want me to order, right there in front of you, which was really nice to have that. And there were just so many options. And of course, if you weren't a big fan, if you're not a breakfast person, and you're pretty much one of those on to go, they had probably 20 different varieties of cereal. So you have some bowl of cereal.
Exactly.
May not be worth the price tag to have a bowl of cereal, but
Yeah, you got
cornflakes for like
you got to pack a lot of those
$300.
boxes of cereal in your bag. Make that worth it.
I don't know if that would fit. So, I think another thing about the buffets too is, you're kind of in a chill mode, so you kind of lose track of time, and they're very specific with their time and their schedules there. So I find if you were already there and you had already ordered and you had your food and you're sitting there, you can go past the time frame, but they start closing that kitchen. I remember the gate, they were kind of like, as you're walking towards it where the wine bar was, they were closing it off saying, we're getting ready to close, you got 1 more minute left, and it was like, okay, you're done. But if you already had your plate, they kind of let you sit there and enjoy it. And boy, did we have some plates. I mean, we went kind of all out. And definitely, if you guys want, check out that video that we did at the Iberostar, because we kind of went to both the breakfast and the lunch buffet. And we had quite a few options on our plates, as well as like the desserts, so you can see exactly kind of what they had to offer. And we thought they were exceptionally good, for sure. I guess going right into that, we should talk about the on-site restaurants. And I don't know, for us, the on-site restaurants were just okay. We are huge. Two of the restaurants that are highlights was the French restaurant, and the Naga Hibachi.
The Mexican hibachi.
Yes, the Mexican hibachi. And it was interesting because they put on a really great show, but I felt like the food was just okay. Now, maybe the chef was kind of really into the show because, we were clapping and cheering him on, so he was really giving us a show, that he forgot the meat was on there, because it was, especially the steak, it was super well done. Way too well done. And I don't mind well done, but it was well beyond done.
Right. And it also was very, very salty. So I think the salt was probably the toughest part of it for me.
Yeah.
It was definitely well done. No doubt about it. And he put on a great show. He definitely put on a great show.
Oh, heck yeah.
And that's one thing, obviously, that's always a concern with hibachi, that the chef does a good job with the cooking, as well as kind of the volcanoes that they make and the explosions of flames.
Yes.
But in this case, there's a little too much on the explosions of the flames and less on the actual thinking about the cooking.
And less on the explosion of flavors out of that meat.
Exactly.
I think they all cooked out of it. It was just, it was just not really kind of the highlight for us now. And that's one of their popular ones, and it can get booked up for sure. So we were pretty excited about that. And sometimes, you've been to some of the best kind of places in terms of that, and you're expecting that. So I guess I would say don't expect it to be, the best. And if you go in with that maybe expectation, it might actually be good for you.
Yeah, you'll probably have fun too.
Oh, yeah.
It's, especially if you have a family with kids. I mean, the kids are going to love it.
Oh, heck yeah.
No, and the kids will absolutely love it. They put on a great show.
Yeah, and you meet a bunch of folks there too.
Yes, very social.
I feel like the all-inclusives really make people happy. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like the energy that was there, because people are just relaxed. I guess this is kind of the place where it's almost like a paradise. You kind of dissect yourself from the world of reality, and once you hit that campus, it's like paradise.
Well, you already kind of paid for it, so you have this band, and it's all covered by the band. I mean, what's not to be happy about? It's
true.
All covered. Give me a drink.
That's
Maybe,
true. It's true. You already paid for it. That's right.
You already paid for it. Or at least, it may not be actually, the bill may not be paid for yet, but you have paid for it.
Yes.
One way or the other.
You paid
maybe
for
on
it.
plastic.
You already paid for
right?
it. You're right about that, because you think about it, like, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
You've already paid.
It's sunk cost.
You know what exactly. It's a sunk cost, and just enjoy it as long as you have that band, which you do not want to lose. By the way, that is your heartbeat.
Right, exactly.
To the all-inclusive. If you lose that, you dead.
Love the band. Just love the band.
Love the band.
And it's hard. You can't really take it off. You have to really, I had to cut mine off.
Exactly. When we got back, and it was so funny because you can't take it off.
Yeah.
We were there for a couple of days, and it was like, it just basically got so dirty. It was so proud. It was like, but hey, as long as
it's the band.
It's the band.
Right. All right. What's up next here?
So, this is a great one. What?
Oh no, Cardoso says at the TRS they have a chic cabaret dinner show.
Wow.
Incredible food and incredible show. Not the typical cheesy resort theater show.
Wow.
Nice. That sounds pretty good.
That sounds interesting. That sounds like you focused on the cabaret, you focused on the food. How interesting is that cabaret?
Not quite. The cheesy resort theater show reminds me back when I was a kid and my parents took me down to Cancun.
Yes.
To an old Club Med resort. And back in the day, Club Med was really big. And the staff at the Club Med put on a performance of Cats. Which was the definition of cheesy. So I've witnessed the cheesy all-inclusive theater show.
Wow. Well, that is definitely cheesy.
A little throwback.
Can I get some crackers for that cheesy?
Yeah, cheesy cat show. Cats.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't tell you much about it, but
poor kid.
I just remember.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
That's
the horror. The horror.
The horror. Hey, so for those of you that have joined us, I just want to say if you can, give this video a thumbs up. Help others see this video, especially if they're into all-inclusives. It definitely helps for sure. And we've been talking a little bit about, this is basically our experience. And we're kind of rummaging through some of this fairly quickly. But it's nice. And if you guys have any questions or any tips or any experiences from all-inclusive, please make sure to leave them in the comment section, or if you're joining us right now, leave it in the chat for sure, because I think that is it's fun. This is kind of like a little community for sure, and it's information. We are two individuals that really enjoy the life and love of travel, and we've experienced all-inclusive firsthand, diving into it pretty heavy. So we're kind of sharing our firsthand knowledge with you. So for sure. So of course, you got to keep the flow going. I mean, we talked about the buffets.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about the on-site restaurants. And of course, if you're going to take the advantage of the all-inclusives to really make it worth it, what you got to do?
Well, if you're of age, I think you would be drinking a lot, right? It seems like people seem to go down there and drink a lot. I think, right? Some folks. I don't really get it though.
I'm totally just saying, like.
Wait, give me some of that. Give me some of that.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what the hell you're saying. Wait, no, sorry.
That has more in it. Sorry. Anyway, so I guess if you do enjoy drinking, take advantage of the drinks. I mean, it's all included.
Yeah.
Right. So
I can tell you why people probably do. I mean, you think about it. On a typical, night out, the most expensive portion of any meal, in my opinion, is the wine or the cocktails.
Yeah.
Or if you sing at the bar, they're really expensive depending on the place.
Right, and also the premium drinks and all that.
Premium drinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think people tend to say, the hell with it. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, the best way to maximize my all-inclusive, value is to drink. Yeah. And I'm talking drink from sunrise to sunset. And you know what? You don't have to feel guilty about it because everybody else is doing it too.
I know, exactly. So, I know.
So, and it's nice too because, and this depends on the all-inclusive, getting back to it in all seriousness. Our all-inclusive, the Iberostar, it included premium drinks. Now, some places don't, include those, but you do get cocktails, whether it's the Wells. A lot of times it's more like the well drinks, kind of what they offer, and non-alcoholic beverages are also included in that as well.
And it can be in your room, it can be in the hallway, in the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
In the lobby, in the buffet.
Oh, yeah. You just got to say, Senor.
In the pool.
Senor.
Right, exactly. And they keep it filled up.
And they will keep your glass. If you're sitting out by the pool and you had a glass of white wine and you're just chilling there, you have an empty glass, and you're having a conversation, and you turn back around, your glass is full, like magic. Yeah. So it's like, you can definitely enjoy the beverages for sure.
Exactly. Cardoso says room service, and absolutely, that's a great thing too. You can just kind of stay in your room, have your drinks there if you want.
Exactly.
They'll bring it right up to you, no problem.
Pass out for a couple hours.
Exactly. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Just relax and enjoy the experience.
Exactly. So. Relax and enjoy that experience.
Yeah.
Top shelf premium liquor. Cardoso also says most adults only have the extra level of premium, which is nice.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, and that's probably very true. We definitely experienced that, but I guess depending on your, if it's not an all adult depending on your price point.
Probably,
if you
right.
have like a certain level or a certain room, they might include that. If you're doing like a basic, it may not be included.
Right.
Yeah,
and
so
we definitely decided to kind of go for the extreme, right? So even in our room, we got the kind of corner suite that had basically windows in the back, windows in the front, windows on the side, so you can kind of have see the beautiful sunset, the sunrise, the beautiful beaches, and the other all-inclusive next door, you see people sunning themselves on the balconies.
On the balconies. It was
that window.
A lot of moonshine going on.
Yeah, right.
A lot of moonshine. It's like, ooh. No, but it was nice. Our room in particular was really nice. It was a junior suite.
Yes.
And it just had that panoramic balcony also, which was unbelievable. It was like not the traditional balcony. It was on one of the higher floors. And it had a wraparound balcony.
Exactly. It was a junior suite, but also a corner junior suite as well.
Exactly.
So you had those 3 views. We just kind of went crazy with our points.
Oh yeah,
to experience
it was awesome. It was definitely worth. For us, it was definitely worth it. The bed was extra comfortable.
Yeah, the bed was good. Worked well.
Did the bed test, kind of jumped out.
Yes.
Woo! It's super
Exactly.
soft.
Had a nice slidable floor. You could slide on the floor.
Oh,
you could
yeah.
kind of dance and all kind of stuff on
You
there.
could dance. You could move. You could slide. You could
Right.
bust your ass. You could fall.
Right.
All that good stuff.
Exactly. With 2 jacuzzis, which was nice. One on the balcony.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Speaking of crazy awesome. So this particular all-inclusive, it had a jacuzzi on the balcony. What?
I know.
What?
I know,
So
right?
you could just like chill with your significant other and just enjoy the company and look up at the stars. Oh God. Woo, take me back. Take me back.
That was really nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that just comes with, and that obviously depends on the level of all-inclusive you're prepared to go for.
Right.
But, sometimes you get what you pay for. And in this case, I felt like if you take advantage of the things that we're sharing and really make it worth it, it's worth it.
Right. And I think all the suites at the Iberostar have that. Right. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
the corner one, but all the suites have it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's really nice.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I remember taking the drone out, and it was like, you kind of turn it, and I see it back in post. I'm like, holy crap! Every one of those balconies has like a jacuzzi on the balcony. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a nifty idea. That's
Wow.
That's a
and
great
Cardoso
idea.
says we would love the TRS. Apparently, the junior suites and suites have private pools. Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
Excuse me, Mr. Cardoso. We do have a super chat in this room where you can contribute to our channel so that we can do those super sweets. Feel free to super chat. I'm just kidding. Wow,
right. Yeah.
That's amazing. No, that's awesome. It's really nice to hear that too. It's like, it's kind of those situations where do you go for it and make it worth it, or is it worth it?
Right.
Is the pool of that caliber? And I'm sure, Cardoso, if you don't mind sharing maybe what the price tag of something like that goes for, I'd be curious to hear in terms of what something that exclusive would go for. Because, it's to each his own, too. It's like, you want to have that privacy factor. You pay for privacy.
Oh,
to have that
definitely.
own
Oh, that's pretty nice.
pool.
Your
Enjoying
private
that
pool.
private pool.
That'd be pretty
Just
cool.
enjoying your own fart bubbles. No.
Do laps. Excuse me?
Sorry.
You can do laps. Yes.
Exactly. So, if you have any questions, for sure, definitely leave them. We'll certainly try to get to them for sure. So up next, here's a good one, right? So, and a lot of these have them, but let's talk about the activities.
Sure.
And in particular, you see, wait, hold on, right
there you go. Look at that little-
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, right there you go, right
Right
there.
That delay's all tough to deal
That's
with.
like, pa-ching! Right there is a good one. And the Iberostar, which was really neat, they have a boatload of activities that you can do. A lot of pool activities, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of it was adults only, right? So you had a lot of kind of fitness activities, and a lot were in the pool, which is interesting, right? And so then you had kind of the archery, the ping pong, kind of things like that, kind of basic stuff, but a lot of more fitness type activities,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Exactly. And it's, there's a lot of them that you can do. I mean, the cool thing, we didn't actually do this, and we probably should have. Archery would have been fun to do.
Yeah, archery,
They
that'd be
have,
cool.
I mean, they have rifle shooting. If you want
Yes,
to,
rifle shooting is
shoot
always
rifle.
good. You'll be here from Texas, so we got to work on our shooting skills.
Yee-hoo!
You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Yeah.
But they have tons of activities that you can do. And what was really cool about the way they set it up was if you wanted to know what time, what day, a certain activity was going on, all you had to do was turn on your television set.
Right.
And the menu had an activities section on top of the room service section, on top of like the different things that you can just basically at a click of a button get involved with. And they did have a lot of pool activities, a lot of ping pong. They had things like that you can do. So I definitely think like if you're going to an all-inclusive, you should certainly take advantage of those things. I mean, it's fun to do. And especially like for me, it's like, how do you say it? Like, I like to eat, especially on vacation. This is kind of like for me, it's like whether it's a vacation or whether it's full-time travel, wherever we go, we love to experience that local food.
Yes.
And in this case, there's not much local food, but there's a hell of a lot of good food at the buffet. So I was stuffed to the brim from morning to night. And so getting involved with a couple of those activities might certainly make you feel better.
That'd be good. And this kind of comes to the point, too, of really when you're looking at all-inclusives, they have different themes. You know, they're different clientele they're looking for.
Oh, heck
you know,
yeah.
if you're kind of, you know, in college or something, you want that kind of social scene, partying. You know, maybe go to the Hard Rock all-inclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It'll be all kind of party, socialize, all that kind of stuff.
Party. Let's talk about it.
Right, if you're a family with children, obviously you're going to look for a place that has a lot of family children activities. Then adults only, it's more kind of what we're looking for.
Exactly.
Those types of things. So
Exactly.
just kind of do your research so that, you know, you're kind of getting the value, especially the activities when you're there, you know, in terms of what's going on.
Exactly. So. Especially like the right activities. So it's like, okay, if you're doing the Hard Rock Cafe, I'm sure they have a lot of group activities. It's almost like, think about it.
Right.
It's getting to that time of year now in 2020 where spring break is right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
So a hot spot for spring breakers is Cancun.
I know, and that actually is a good point too. You probably want to be careful if
Yes.
you aren't into that scene. Don't go during spring break because it's got to be chaotic down there.
Oh, heck yeah.
During spring break.
Heck yeah.
Right. So.
Heck yeah. Oh well. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Cardosa. Wow, Cardosa. Oh, forgive us. That's really, really grateful to put us towards that suite. And he actually mentioned, he said it's $2,500 to $2,700 per person with flights from Canada.
Wow.
So flights from Canada, including, wow.
And how long is that for? Is that for a full week?
For a
or
week,
what is that?
a weekend.
Probably for a week, yeah.
But that sounds like it might be more for a week. Oh,
Yeah,
but thank
that's a
you
good
so
value.
much,
Not
Cardosa.
bad.
Cheers to Cardosa. Thank you
Cheers
for that.
I need more of that all-inclusive liquor.
Oh, little top shelf here.
Yeah.
Little top shelf from the cabinet of my top shelf.
Exactly. called Costco.
Oh, Costco.
That's for a week. Okay, makes sense.
Don't sleep on Costco.
Oh, I love Costco.
Me too. They have some great wine.
They do. I agree with that.
So
Good value.
What did
Cardosa
say?
Sunday to Sunday.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I think that's actually
That's
a good
a
value.
very good value.
It's per person, so
That's a
about,
great
say,
value.
5,000 or so.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Cardosa.
Again, Cardosa, cheers. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. You better crack open another.
Yeah, I'm not sure we got
right
nothing.
there.
This is empty.
Somebody's a little heavy.
No,
somebody thinks he's still an all-inclusive.
No, this was some leftover wine.
Yeah, I just opened that. Somebody
Oh.
thinks he's still at an all-inclusive solo.
What you talking about?
What you talking about?
Say what?
Say what? So I am definitely, I guess you would say for us, and when it comes down to the all-inclusive and activities and things, you know, we are full-time travelers. So for us, it's, when you're going to an all-inclusive, it's kind of that spot to just relax. And I guess everyone in that sense wants to go to like an all-inclusive to just like relax. Hold on,
Yeah.
just
Like some more? There you go.
So just to let you know, the lives that we do are pretty much kind of, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
I didn't spill them heavy.
We just it's kind of a chill and chat, you know, so we'd like to have our cocktails. It's kind of a nice thing for us in the evening to do. And I'll explain briefly a little bit about us. We're kind of introvertish in a lot of ways with that. So for us to do this with you guys, it's kind of like we really enjoy this. And it's kind of like one of those things where you're just chilling around friends and you're kind of having conversations about your experience and everything else. It's kind of how I feel with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for, and this is kind of separate to all this, but thank you for kind of, you know, being there and kind of sticking with us, you know, throughout our first full year of full-time travel, which has been quite the journey. And it's just really fun for us to be able to come on here and kind of share our experiences with you guys and also hear about your experiences, because hey, this is a new year. We have a lot going on this year.
Yes,
a lot
definitely.
coming up for sure. So I'm excited about that. Getting back to all inclusives though.
Right, you want to talk about the hidden fees, right?
Ooh, so let's get on the little downer side of it.
Not
right?
everything is included.
No,
right?
not everything is included in your all-inclusive. And Dave is right. One of the things you need to really be cautious of are the hidden fees. And this goes back to, and I'll start with the first one.
Yeah.
This goes back to number one we spoke about the car rental and why we feel if you're going to be on the site really enjoying and maximizing your all-inclusive package and the dollar and the value that you paid for, a lot of those places, parking is not free.
Right, no.
So when you rent a car, you're renting the car per day, and you're paying for, which is not, some of them are not cheap, parking per day. They really try to maximize, obviously what they can get out of the individual staying there.
Right,
So
exactly.
be careful of the hidden fees.
Maximize share of wallet. Take it all. Just take all of your wallets.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's true. Just be wary of that. And parking is definitely a hidden fee that a lot of all-inclusives will charge you for. So if you're renting a car, that's an additional fee.
Right. And another is really the whole premium bar and cocktails, right? Now, for us, those are included, but that's not true at every place,
No.
right? At every all-inclusive. Now, it seems like an adults-only all-inclusive tends to be included, as Cardoso mentioned earlier.
Right, correct.
Right. So just check that out. Make sure if you like the premium drinks and cocktails, make sure you find one that's actually included in that.
Yeah.
Or at least be aware of that going in.
Exactly. That's really true. It all starts with the price. They're thinking of what are we getting for this? And the one thing I said, and Dave and I had this discussion about, was you think about it. So we paid $520 for our all-inclusive. But when you think about it, in reality, we paid $520, and it was actually for both of us.
That's for both of us. That's true.
So
Yeah.
we were able to really maximize $520 for, it was almost, if it were one person, but it was split into two.
Right.
So we ate double the food, we ate double the snacks, me, out of that mini bar.
I had triple the drinks.
Triple the drink, triple. You see what happens with that bottle of wine? No, triple the drinks. But it was just, for us, as saying to ourselves, like, okay, it sounds like a lot of money, but when you start breaking it down in that sense, and even like Cardoso was saying this evening about what that 22 to 2,700 for the week.
Yeah.
So if you're there for one full week and you're eating up a storm, you're enjoying the restaurants and the buffets and the poolside. And what was nice about ours too was the poolside bar. So you can come walking out of your resort onto the beautiful pool bar or into the beautiful pool bar and kind of have more cocktails made for you by just really incredible staff and personality.
Right, we went off season too, so it was not crowded at all, which was really, really nice. I mean, the pool was almost empty.
Yes.
As we came down there, had the pool almost to ourselves, had a bar, the bartenders there. There were some other folks there, some great folks that we met.
Right.
But it wasn't crowded.
No.
It was really, really nice.
It was really nice. And that's just something, you could think about. And we'll get into that in a minute. Like, you would certainly think about, like, if that's something you want to do, whether it's on season or off season.
Right.
And we'll explain that in a little bit. But one of the things that's not included, and this wasn't included in ours, and it may be included in some of yours.
Actually, Cardoso said it wasn't either. But I know where you're going.
Oh.
Where are you going?
Yes.
What's next?
You see, all right, there it is.
Cardoso was thinking ahead.
Thinking ahead. See, you're reading my mind, Cardoso. Watch out. You're reading my mind. But the spas and treatments. And I know. And for me, I'm a huge, I am always,
I like massages too.
I'm always, my hands are like cramped up for like ever because he's always asking me for massages. So whenever we get to like a place where I'm thinking, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for you, babe, to go ahead and get yourself a massage and enjoy it. This way, my hands could actually be on an all-inclusive vacation.
Exactly. You need a vacation.
I need a vacation.
Right.
But it was not included. So
we
didn't do it. Really bummed out. Obviously, we're trying to, save dollars as well because we are full-time travelers. So wherever little bits and tidbits that we can save, we will save. But it was disappointing because you think if you're paying that kind of a hefty price tag,
I was psyched. Like, spa.
Exactly.
Massages. And then
not included.
Aye.
And they're not cheap.
So we didn't do it.
Right. No, they were not cheap, so we didn't do it.
Right. You did it in Puerto Morelos.
Yes.
At an Airbnb.
That was very different. And it was mega cheap. I had 2 hours.
Yes.
And let me tell you, it was still undervalued for 2 hours. But boy, she beat the crap out of my back. It was awesome.
Yes. Teo Rosas has joined us. Hola!
Hola, hola.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for joining. Where are you from? We love everyone to tell us kind of where you're from for sure. It's really exciting to know where everyone that's joining this live is coming from. So tell us where you're from.
Yes, and no hablo español un poco. Right? I need to do these subtitles in some of this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I will tell you, we work really hard on trying to pump out content, and we try and put out content 3 times a week. We do it on Tuesday, we have Sunday, and we go live every Wednesday. So I'm cracking down, getting them out and editing and putting them out, and Dave is right there working on those subtitles for sure.
Yes.
So I think it's awesome that we have so many of you guys too as well from all over the world and some of the places that we've been. So hey, hola, thank you for joining us. Now, of course, this is kind of an obvious thing that's not included. You shouldn't expect it to be included, but it's the shops. You know, the shops are not included. Obviously, souvenirs, things like that as well. Those are not included in an all-inclusive package. You might think they should be because you're paying a lot of money. Like, where's my parting ways souvenir? For us, they gave us a couple straw hats waiting in our room on the bed.
We got a couple hats. We were happy with that.
Couple straw hats to block out the sun.
We didn't take them with us, so I don't think.
I don't think it fit my big head.
I put them on when we kind of did the room tour. I put it on my room tour. I forgot I had it on. I had it like a hat over my hat.
You had a hat on hat.
Hat on a hat.
A hat on hat.
Sounds like
a new style.
Sounds like Dr. Seuss.
Hat on hat.
A hat on the hat.
Cat in the hat with a hat on hat.
Hat in the hat. Yes. Oh man.
That was funny though. That was actually.
That was good. I like that. Yeah.
And it was nice for them to do that. I mean, they really kind of go out of their way. I mean, they really make you feel okay. You are getting what you're paying for. Yeah. And I remember the one thing they did was kind of interesting is coming back from whatever we were doing during the day. We'd come back to our room. It was clean, but it was something additional to that. They actually they made our bed. They made our bed.
That's very nice.
They put and the top cover was in the shape of like a shell. It looked like a shell bra.
Yeah.
A shell bra.
But very fresh flowers. I mean, the petals
smelled
really nice. Yeah,
rose
really
petals,
nice.
Really beautiful rose petals kind of spread over the bed. And that was every time they made the bed, it was amazing.
Yes.
It was really amazing.
Muchas gracias, Teo. Teo wishes that we had more subscribers.
Thank you. Muchas gracias, Teo. So you know what you can do? Share this video, everyone, with whomever you think may love all-inclusives, and tell them to freaking subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. Subscribe.
And also give this video a thumbs up because it does go a long way. Really appreciate that. And thank you for everyone that is in here joining us tonight. And thank you for those of you that have clicked on this afterwards and are watching it.
Yes.
Because you all want to learn about that all-inclusive and those 15 tips. Let me tell you, because we get into some good ones. So one of the things I think, getting to the next one, this is number 9, is the crowds.
Yeah.
Avoid the crowds. And in our opinion, and that depends on who you are. If you can only get off around that spring break, if you're young, really young, you want to be a part of the crowd, then hey.
Right,
because there's a season. There's a off season and there's a peak season.
Yeah.
And I believe the peak season is November through the end of April.
April, yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah. Now there's considerations too. It's the crowds. Now when you go off peak, the weather may not be as perfect, right? And so when we were there, it was very, very humid.
It was hotter than hell.
It was so humid.
It was hotter than hell. I don't even think the devil would want to be there.
Right.
It's too hot.
But it does make the pools, that much more attractive.
That's true. The beaches.
Right. The pools, the beaches, the drinks in the pool, all that good stuff. Right. So
we keep getting back to them drinks because that is a big part of the all-inclusive.
But for us, I think avoiding the crowds was great.
Yes.
And being in that pool almost to ourselves was really amazing. Now, if you want to meet a lot of people and make it very social, you probably want to go during peak season and meet all those folks. So it's really kind of what you're looking for.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right, so.
Oh, heck yeah. It definitely is like, it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so worth it.
Absolutely.
So, what did the spa there on Wednesday? Oh, did you hear that? Cardoso sent his wife to the spa.
Yeah, the spa. Apparently the spa, the hot tubs, and all the treatments aren't included. But I need to get some of those treatments.
He sent his wife to the spa.
Yeah.
Cardoso.
I would never do that.
No, I would just go myself.
Exactly. I just wouldn't tell you. Just go.
I'm like, honey, how's my skin look? Where you been? Yeah. Where you been, dear? To the spa.
Exactly. What? Say what?
Say what?
Exactly. How expensive was that?
Yeah, but it depends on the who you are as a person. Like we do like, we're kind of more of that. We prefer not to be with the crowds, just because of the fact that one, we're filming.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's also, we don't want to, for us as well, and full-time filming and on these trips, it's kind of important for us to not take away from other folks' enjoyment. If we're sitting there with a camera 24/7 and in the pool and doing this, and there's a couple of folks making out in the back.
Make way for the camera.
Make way.
Watch out. Oh, look at that. Zoom in on that.
Whoa.
Zoom in on that.
Whoa. Excuse me. I don't think it's
Right.
But at the same time too, for us, we like it to be less of a crowd. We're kind of more in our element when it's not as crowded, and that might be for some of you as well. So think about that. If you can put up with the heat,
right,
then it's definitely something worthwhile in our opinion. We like the off seasons sometimes, depending on the place. If it's like an off season like Peru, where it's super rainy, not a good idea. So you'll miss a lot of the things on the great outdoors, the Andes, the Rainbow Mountains, all those things you wouldn't be able to do if you were in that really off season.
And it's true. And even when we were in Cancun, you could see these thunder storms out there that didn't actually hit us, but you could see them off
in the ocean.
Into the ocean, yes. So.
That was pretty, especially for us too, where we're like eye level, eye level with the storm. It was like great. Here it is, right here. You could see the storm. It was crazy.
Right, exactly.
I was like,
right.
So you mentioned number 10. Number 10. This is one I think everyone should definitely try and do, and we'll kind of talk a little bit more about this, but definitely do an excursion or two, a couple of them. Do some excursions. Get off the off-site for a little bit and do an excursion. I think, if you're there for especially like a week, sometimes being there, you might see the same people every day. It kind of gets overwhelming. Even though you're enjoying it, it's kind of overwhelming. So you need that like separation of space.
Yes.
I call it, for a little bit. So do an excursion. And what's really cool about that?
Oh, I think it's great. I mean, that's where you actually experience the culture, right?
Yes.
You go out and into the town maybe if you want. We actually went on a little motorboat tour, which was fun, through the mangroves.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool.
That was
awesome. Chichen Itza as well. One of the great Mayan, one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Oh yeah.
So amazing things to see, and I think getting off the.
That was fun.
Oh, there it is.
That was fun right there. That was aqua fun. We kind of and you want to book them. Here's a tip: book whatever excursions you want to do through your resort, so that you're not getting. You might go out and see all these different spaces and places that say, "Hey, book your excursion here," but I can almost guarantee you they'll probably take advantage of the fact that they can see you're a tourist, and the prices will be 3 times more expensive than if you were booking it through your resort. Now, at the same time, be a little smart about that too, because the resorts also sometimes they get kickbacks from making those bookings.
They may charge a little bit more, but you have that peace of mind that it's legitimate.
Exactly.
You go out and find someone on the street, they may just take your money.
And you won't even get the excursion.
Exactly.
They'll take your money for sure. But it was great. It was the comfort and convenience of being able to walk right downstairs into the lobby, and there she was waiting for us to set up whatever excursions we wanted to do. Chichen Itza was a good one, but we're going to be doing that on our own at another time. But it was nice to be able to do the aquafun through the mangroves, the crocodiles. I'm glad I didn't see any, but there might have been crocodiles.
Yeah, we're hoping to see some, but no such luck.
But don't we look cute?
Yes.
Don't we look cute in that boat?
So Benito Garcia says, hello.
Benito,
hello.
Hi, welcome. I have not seen you here before.
No, I have not.
Hi and welcome. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified every time we go live. And if you've been to an all-inclusive and you're joining us, don't be stingy. Talk about it. Don't be stingy. Tell us all about the all-inclusive.
and Teo actually says good night from Mexico City, which we love.
Buenas noches. And by the way, Teo, we absolutely, like Dave just said, we love Mexico City. We're definitely going back. We have so much more. And we actually did, and if Dave will put a link in here, you might want to check it out. And those of you that are interested in Mexico City,
if I can find that.
It was so much fun. We did like a $10 challenge, basically.
Yes.
We went all throughout different parts of Mexico City to see how much we can eat, because like I said, we love to eat, for $10. Now, it's Mexico, so it's very affordable, but you got to be smart about it. Very smart about it. And be careful, because you can get sick.
No.
But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the tacos and street food are just unbelievable.
Unreal.
And so affordable.
So
Incredible.
thank you, Teo, for such an amazing, beautiful country, welcoming. We had so much fun.
Yes.
We are definitely coming back. And buenas noches. And we look forward to seeing you on one of our next lives for sure. So, suscribit. Yeah, I think that's... Here's another thing that you might want to think about doing. And it's absolutely beautiful. So, there's ferries that you can take to different parts of the island, which is the home. A lot of the home base for these ferry stations are Cancun. So you can go right over to Isla Mujeres for a day. The island of Isla Mujeres is one of the most beautiful islands. So peaceful, so serene, so affordable, and so much to do.
Yes,
And literally, it's what, like 4 miles long, about 2,000 miles wide?
I think that's right. Sounds
Right?
good to me. I'm sticking with it. But it's small, and you go around on a golf cart, which is so chill. Just watch out for those speed bumps.
Yeah.
I was not good at that, and I kind of put you through some heavy bumps.
Yeah, and
with
you
that.
know the sad part about that was we have it all on film. So you see my reaction. And maybe a little more jelly belly.
No, I was having fun, Trying to go full speed, go at least 5 miles an hour.
Well, we're kind of looking at like, now here, let me explain something to you. So Isla Mujeres is definitely becoming a very popular spot. As a matter of fact, there's a portion of the island, I think down towards Punta Sur, which is by
developing.
there's a lot of development going on there. So it's definitely picking up. So we were looking at like houses, wishful thinking that maybe one day in this world we could actually retire there somewhere. But while we're focusing on the house of our dreams and going, 15 miles an hour, that is fast, not even like
golf
like
cart.
5 miles an
Those
hour.
ones move on pretty fast. Yeah.
A whopping 5 miles an hour.
Yes.
We hit this speed bump where basically our golf cart almost, all wheels in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had my stomach and face, the whole line. It was kind of crazy, but it was fun. It was definitely a memorable moment that we had in Isla
Yes.
Mujeres. What?
Oh, no, let's see. So I put up the Mexico City street food and tacos. Teo asked how long were we in Cancun? And
¿Cuánto tiempo pasó hace good in Cancun?
Yeah.
So we were in we were in Isla. We started at Isla Mujeres.
Yes.
And we were there for like
2 or 3 days. Yeah.
So it was definitely that's enough. That's all you need. In those places in Cancun, you only need a couple of days for sure. So, and plus it's really expensive. So for us, how do you say it? We're not really the all-inclusive type couple. We think it's fun and enjoyable to experience. But I think because we're so much into the local aspect of wherever we travel to and we're full-time travelers, I think the Cancun experience is more or less you almost forget that you're in Mexico, which is the whole point for us to go to Mexico. You want to feel like you're part of the culture, the colonial side of different places that we go into, the real experience of like that food and the people. You don't really get that in an all-inclusive.
Right.
So for us, a couple days is probably enough.
Yeah, and we were there probably, if I think about, probably about 10 days total between Puerto Morelos, Isla, and Cancun. We kind of split from the 3 spots. Mm-hmm. And each one is very different, right? And so kind of gave us some very different experiences and all very, very enjoyable overall, just very different for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. It's definitely very enjoyable. I mean, it's hard to say this. I think if you're going to do anything the way we do it, I would always say, go to Cancun first. Because if you go to like Isla Mujeres and you go to Puerto Morelos and then you go to Cancun, it's like, what? This is not Mexico.
That's what we did.
What?
What do you mean?
I know.
That's what we did.
That's why I'm teaching you
What are you
guys.
talking about?
Do it the opposite direction.
Fine.
Do it the
Just
opposite.
don't do what we do.
Go to Cancun
We make all the
first.
mistakes
Yeah,
for you.
exactly.
We make mistakes for you.
Yeah.
And do the opposite.
Yeah. We need to learn from our mistakes.
Exactly.
Learn from our mistakes.
That's right.
And by the way, how do you guys like my hubby Bubby's beard? You like this? He's growing a beard. He's growing a beard.
For you.
Yeah. I like it though. It's a nice little beard. I love that little beard. My bearded baby.
That's coming off tonight.
No. Give him a thumbs up. Everyone that's joined or everyone afterwards, give him a thumbs up for the beard because he looks really good. I love it.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, de nada.
Senorita.
So here's an important one. It's kind of a little bit more on the serious side of things. Well, not necessarily serious, but I think what you need to be mindful of is when you're traveling to a place like Cancun, you're still in Mexico. You're still outside of your area. If you're coming from the U.S., you're coming from Canada. So one thing I always try and say is make sure you have travel insurance. Whether that's checking with your current provider, with your job, wherever you are, make sure that your insurance covers international travel. Or whether it's, there's a lot of sites out there because there's so many digital nomads and folks out there as well. There's a lot of sites now that you can actually get temporary insurance when you're traveling because it's important, especially if you're doing like excursions.
Yes.
You know, you want to make sure you're covered. I mean, you don't want to be trapped on like a mountain somewhere where you're getting helicoptered out and all of a sudden you realize you have no insurance there and you have to fork over the bill for the helicopter.
Right.
That would not be fun.
Right, and it's not that expensive, too, to cover that. So it's
No.
probably very worthwhile for peace of mind, especially.
Yes, and for most that are probably watching this, that are thinking of going to Cancun, you know, are probably working. So check with your company, health insurance provider, and make sure, or just check to see, because, you know, it's still early in the year. It's January. So you technically, if you don't have it on there and you're thinking about traveling more this year, you might be able to upgrade your plan. I think sometimes it's worth paying that higher premium, especially if you're doing, you know, these type of excursions. And I learned that tip from my mama because she's a smart lady.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's what your mama told you.
She's a smart lady. She's a smart lady. Let me tell you. She loves to travel. My mom as well. So she's an RVer, so she loves going all over the place.
Yes.
But she pays like the top premium for insurance because she knows she's covered internationally as well. So
Makes
smart to do that. And that's just a tip,
Yeah.
you know, for insurance purposes.
Just roll the dice.
Oh, no! Let's
Luck
be-
could be a lady tonight.
No, it might not
Luck
be on
be
your
a lady
side.
tonight.
No.
Roll the dice. Okay.
So, were you gonna say something?
No, if you have any comments, let us know. Any questions for us or any additional tips, you know, in the room, you know, please let us know. We would appreciate it.
Absolutely, we definitely appreciate the comments, the tips. This is kind of great because I'm learning. You
Yeah.
know, we just learned like a week-long excursion at All Inclusive is actually fairly reasonable, and you get
Yeah.
top service. So
Exactly.
we're gonna
Damn.
jot that down. Dang.
Cardoso.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Now here's one that's pretty common that you probably know, and this is number 13.
Lucky 13.
Yeah.
Like we were saying.
And it could be unlucky if you drink the water.
Ooh.
So don't drink the water. You know, that's quite obvious. You know, obviously wherever you go, if you're going on anywhere in all inclusive, most of the times they're going to be using, and I think the water's treated there.
Oh no, the
in
water's
those facilities.
probably good. I wouldn't take
I wouldn't
chance
take a chance
myself.
No, because I think what happens too is even though the water might be in the resorts might be fine, there's harsh minerals in there to
Yeah.
get the water to not be as toxic as as you could say.
Yeah.
When you're not supposed to drink the traditional water in Mexico or different parts of the world. But I wouldn't drink it. There might be a lot of what is the one that the fish have? Not iron.
Well, they do collect iron in them. Mercury.
Mercury.
Yeah, the large tuna.
Yes, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A large
The
tuna.
large tuna tends to collect the mercury.
Yes, but that's also in the water. There's high risk of that as well, and so you know, be careful with that. And even if you're going off of doing your excursions, if you're getting like a smoothie or anything of that nature, you might want to make it with milk. Don't make it with ice. Don't make it with water.
Yeah, if you're going to like a market in a Mexican city, you know, be a little careful if they're using water. Now, to that point though, we also stayed at Airbnbs. We took advantage of Agua de Garrafon, right? The water and basically
the big jugs.
The jugs, exactly, which is fine, right? And that worked very well. But and it's also free for you as well, so you don't have to pay for that small bottled water, and of course the additional plastic as well that comes from that. So just something to keep in mind. Oh, Cardoso says there's no audio. No.
Bless you.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happens.
All right, we're back.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
I tell you, sometimes
I just want to say this. I just said some amazing points, and hopefully you got all that. So just so you know, it was really incredible. Too bad you missed it. Next time you'll get it. Okay.
So yes, you don't drink the water, and that's pretty smart, to recognize anyway. You don't want to drink the water when you're there.
And I think my only point, I'm not sure how much you got, is that you can ask for agua de garrafon, basically water. It's treated water in the large jugs, basically like just large bottled water, and not have to pay for it. If you go out to a restaurant, you can ask for that, and that's fine.
Yes.
Right. And so it also saves you some money, and also in some ways saves the environment a bit as well, so you aren't buying these small plastic bottles, right?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
just something to think about.
Now, the next thing we want to talk about is the loyalty. You want to ask about the loyalty programs.
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, all the resorts want you to come back, and some of them have really good loyalty programs. If you're paying that kind of money, you want to take whatever perks, sign up for the loyalty cards, because they do offer specifics. You might actually get a discount at the spa,
Right?
if you have that card. And sign up to as many as you can. I mean, they're typically free to sign up for the loyalty cards. And I think you might have to do it in advance. You can't do it when you've already paid for it. Or I think that's
I'm
right.
not sure. It might be. Yeah,
Might be. I'm not sure. But make sure, whatever you do, now you know, sign up in advance for wherever you're staying, get that loyalty card, and get those points. Because it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, if you're a regular too, just absolutely sign up and take advantage of it.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes,
Heck yeah.
definitely.
If you're a regular, you might not be watching this because you might get puzzle pointers.
So we'll just jump right into the next one, which is understanding tipping. That's a big one because I think a lot of all-inclusives, they'll say you don't have to tip. It's pretty much included in your all-inclusive package. And you don't necessarily bring money with you. Like when we're down at the pool, walking down there, we try not to bring anything with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't,
I don't want my wallet.
You don't want to focus on that. You want to focus on drinking at the bar, the pool bar, enjoying the pool with your sweetie pie or by yourself or whomever, and at the beach just really enjoying it. You don't want to leave those things down because that's just another thing you have to worry about.
It's all in the band.
That is your money maker.
Band.
That band is your money maker right there. So definitely understand that. I think at the same time, if they're giving you good service, bring a couple dollars with you, things of that nature. It's usually 10% you want to tip or pesos. You want to give about 10%, which is kind of a good faith.
Especially if they go out of their way, something extra beyond the normal.
Right. It's a really good gesture to kind of say, okay, well, they've gone out of their way. We've actually had one, a really nice woman that we were looking for some coffee, type of coffee with half and half, and they didn't even have half and half. It was just like heavy cream.
Outrageous.
Yes. But she went out of her way to get half and half for us, and then even brought it up to because we like to get caffeinated.
Exactly.
Get caffeinated. Get caffeinated. Okay.
Yes.
But it was really sweet of her to do that. So we actually, gave her a tip. She walked us up to the room and delivered them, poured them in, just really made it so that we didn't have to even lift a finger. So that was really nice of her. And she didn't, obviously that's part of their job to go out of their way.
Sure, yeah.
But for us, it was just a good gesture for us to say, you know what, let's give her a tip because she, she did that.
Definitely.
And we're kind of getting to that hour mark, so I think we're probably going to wrap this up soon.
Wrap it up.
And Cardoso agrees, tipping isn't necessary or included. Isn't included or necessary, but if you find you get too much better or quicker service, give tips. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Give the tips where deserved, especially if they're working hard. And the last one, number 15, is just enjoy the fact that, one, you've watched this video. Before you go into your all-inclusive for that 15th tip, you've done your homework.
Yeah, good for you.
You've done your homework, and you've now deserve the opportunity to be pampered and enjoy what all-inclusive life is supposed to be about. So I think that's the main thing, is just really enjoy yourself.
Yeah, really enjoy yourself. Take advantage of the services. Take advantage of the people there working. They're there to help you, to make it a great experience. So don't be afraid to ask. Anything you need, just ask them. Yeah. They're there to help, right?
Just hold out your glass.
Exactly.
Hold out your glass. Let me see if it works. Hold out your glass. You turn your head, and then
voila.
You turn back, and it's like, whoa!
Look at that. Not quite high. A little bit. little bit of
That person, let me tell you, that kind of pour is not getting any kind of tip from me.
a little bit of bottom feeder. That's a bottom feeder.
That is no tip right there. No tip. The only tip I'm going to give you is next time you want a good tip, you put a heavier pour in that one.
You'll get nothing like it. You'll get nothing like it. Excellent.
But yeah, just have a good time. Really enjoy the life of All Inclusive if you're going to be there. Take advantage of that and just enjoy the experience.
Absolutely.
So we are on that hour mark.
One other point. The oh, thanks a lot.
That's right, Cardoso.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, how about this one? Here, there you go. How about the bottle?
Let's try that again.
You drinking this? There you go. Hold on.
Not too heavy. Not too heavy. It's still a weekday.
Whoa. How's that?
How's that one?
So Cardoso says he actually tipped the pool waitress 500 pesos on the first drink, and they couldn't drink them fast enough after that.
That is a smart move.
Coming.
Cardoso, that is a smart move. And that's something that I would typically do in places where we go, where it's like, if you give them a good tip up front, they tend to shower you with praise more so than a basic tip. I remember, and that's coming from someone that used to be in the service industry.
Right.
I find if someone's giving a big tip up front, they're gonna have heavier pours. They're gonna have a couple extra on the houses, which makes up the difference for that tip you just gave.
Yeah.
So that's a smart move. Thank you so much for that, Cardoso, for sure. That's what I'm talking about. And Cardoso says, to this pour, my sweetie pie, much better. Thank you, Cardoso.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining. We really appreciate that for sure. Again, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video, and for those of you that want to see us, we'll have more subscribers. All you have to do is share and tell them to freaking subscribe.
Exactly, we appreciate it.
We really appreciate that. And again, we do post videos Tuesday, Sundays, and we go live every Wednesday, or we try to, every Wednesday at 8. Yeah. And we're actually going to start doing maybe some lives on locations, depending on service.
Exactly.
So stay tuned for that, and always, thanks for joining us, guys. And we look forward to seeing you
on the road.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye-bye.